Hey everyone, it's actually Jeb Bush with Top Shot, and today I just wanted to kind of review my current moment collection. I know I posted some pack openings in the beginning, and since then I haven't posted too many videos, and my collection has grown and changed quite a bit. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of review what I have and see where it's currently sitting. So, first of all, I bought this Gordon Hayward, this Chris Boucher, this Buddy Hield, this John Wall, and this Blake Griffin all around at the same time. I bought them before the badges were released. I purchased them because I thought that they would go up in value permanently, considering badges would be a thing and people would see them. Clearly I was wrong. I'm down on all of these moments, but I'm not too worried about them. I actually really like all the moments I scooped up, and I think it will be valuable long term to have these badge moments. And on top of that, I was able to get a Series 1 Buddy Hield, which I don't have that many Series 1s. I also picked up the Lonzo Ball three-pointer. Once again, at the time, I thought it was a pretty decent price, and I figured it would go back up because he was playing really well. This Darren Fox, I did get in a pack. I got a second one as well. It'll pop up as we go up because I have that one listed for sale. I think I'm only going to keep one. So that's those. I picked up this Zion dunk moment. I paid, unfortunately, way more than what it's going for right now. I believe I paid $176 for it, and I think it's going for about $100 right now. But, I mean, this moment is absolutely incredible. I do think it'll go back up. I'm not too worried about it long term. I think this is an iconic dunk. Absolutely vicious. So yeah, around this same time, this was when I had sold my Rising Stars Brandon Clark and my Scene Stars Jokic because they were in challenges, and I had some Dapper balance. So I went ahead and I picked up the LeBron No Look 3 here. I think this moment is extremely iconic, and although I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, I mean, LeBron is easily the most valuable player on this site, and he will probably continue to be for the foreseeable future. I think this moment is super, super cool. I picked it up at $550. There was a time where this moment was going for $2K. There's a time where the market dipped and it went to $550, and I watched it go to $550. And then it went back up to 1,000. And I told myself if it ever dropped all the way back down to a number where I could afford it with just Dapper balance and I didn't have to pay an additional percentage on top with like using my credit card, that I would do so. It did that. I picked up at 550. Ended up going all the way down to 450. And I think currently it's back somewhere near the 500s. But once again, this is a long-term hold. I love this moment. I think this moment's incredible. And there's only 15,000 of them, which, like, long-term, like, that's not going to be that many. I packed this Tyler Hero, nothing special. Same thing with this Chris Middleton. I did get a low serial Dante DiVincenzo, I think is how you say it. I think I will be selling this one during the playoffs and hopefully get 20, 30 for it, maybe a little more depending on how well he does, but not really looking to hold on to this long term, but don't want to turn it into a ticket considering it's a valuable low serial moment. I picked up this Thibault. I picked him up, I think, at 13, unfortunately, because at the time the floor was a bit high, and I was starting to prepare a bit for the playoffs. And I think this Galloway was the last moment, Series 1, which I'm happy about, but it was the last moment I picked up before the badges came out, and he ended up going down more than going up. I have this Jordan Clarkson, which I got in a base pack, I believe. I think the decent serial number, so probably we'll let this go during the playoffs once again because I can't just turn it into a ticket. I think that would be losing some of its value. This SGA, I packed 2 of these in a base pack, and I sold one for the floor basically, and I'm keeping this one. I've got this Rudy Gobert and this Paul George Seeing Stars. I picked both of these up for the Showcase Challenge. I paid obviously more than $20 combined for them, but getting that $20 in Dapper balance back for the Showcase and having more than 20 likes and following all the steps, I figured that was a discount enough to justify buying these two. And I think at the time, and I still kind of think, that the Seeing Stars set is pretty undervalued considering they're all All-Stars. Someone like Paul George is a perennial All-Star. Someone like Rudy Gobert is starting to become one. Clint Capella, I might have picked this one up for a decent price just because it was a first badge. All right, and then now we have these 5 moments right here. We have this Damien Lillard buzzer beater game winner. Yeah, I love this moment. I think it's great. I think it's amazing that it's in an empty stadium. We're not going to see that long term, so that's pretty cool. And Lillard's a solid pick. I picked all of these up because at the time there was some speculation about the next Cool Cats being buzzer beaters, and I figured that if it wasn't the right challenge and these didn't skyrocket because of demand for completing the challenge, that these would be super good to have long-term anyways, because I think moments will matter, and I do think buzzer beaters are super, super exciting. This Cole Anthony one I love. He dribbles down the court and just pulls up and drains the 3 at the buzzer to win the game. I think this is such a sick moment. And it has 2 rookie badges, which is also really cool. So yeah, I think long term these buzzer beaters will do well, even if they don't pop up in a challenge. But I personally think we will see buzzer beaters in a challenge at some point. I think it's way too cool of a theme not to eventually use. And then I picked up this Zion dunk. It's the same as the one I had before, but I picked it up at the floor this time because I figured I would cost average because I do believe in this moment. I think it's really cool. I think I picked it up somewhere around 80 to kind of mitigate me spending so much on the first one. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if they both go back up, maybe I sell one and then I'm able to keep the other one. I sell one to recoup the $176 I paid for the first one, and then I keep the second one and just let it go long term. So we'll see about that. Kyrie Irving, I think I packed this one. Same thing with Gordon and Tillman and Gary Harris. I think these are all from base packs. I figured Gordon is good to keep. Well, one, selling these right now, there's not much point. They're not going for tons and tons. But also, Kyrie's going to be in the playoffs. Aaron Gordon, he's going to be in the playoffs. This is his first moment with the Nuggets, which is really cool. Tillman, it's a rookie. And then Gary Harris, I just haven't gotten around to selling. Now this one will probably get turned into a ticket, I'm assuming. I was able to pack the premium rare pack, and I got very lucky, and I got an RJ Barrett. I think this is a decent moment. The layup itself is not that special. I mean, it's a good move on Hero. Finishes strong. I like that. But he's already climbed up. I think it dipped all the way down to 250, and I almost sold it at 350 when I initially got it in the pack. I decided to hold on to it. It's up now around 500-ish, and I think it'll go up more when it's used for a challenge. So it'll be nice to potentially, we'll see what happens when the challenge goes live and sees what it goes to. I'll see what I do with it. But it would potentially be really cool to sell it for a decent amount and turn that into a couple moments I think have a lot of long-term viability. Whether that's getting another LeBron moment or picking up some more of the Seeing Stars to finish that set. All that stuff would be really, really cool. This THT picked up in a pack. I think this moment is super good. I think long-term this moment might have some great value, to be honest, because I know it's a $35,000, but it's a football pass assist from LeBron, incredible dunk where he splits the defense, timer's running down. I mean, it is a great moment. The angles are great. The pass is great. LeBron's in the moment. I love this one. I'm very, very high on this moment long term, even though it is $35,000. I picked up this Damian Lee. This Damien Lee is another buzzer beater that I kind of added to the possibilities of a buzzer beater. I think this was around the time I started speculating for Cool Cats 6. I still am very strong on buzzer beater moments and on a buzzer beater challenge eventually happening. I think they're strong moments on themselves, whether they're in a challenge or not. And I think eventually, like, that theme of buzzer beaters is just too hard to like pass up on. Like, it's a great theme. There's some really cool moments that even if you bought them a little higher because the demand of a challenge, like holding on to them, I think would be worth it. And I think Top Shot, for the most part, is trying, when they do challenges, they know these moments are going to skyrocket, and they're trying to give you moments that at least like you can be like, oh, I'm happy I have this moment, even though I paid $30 for it and now it's going for 10. Like, this is a cool moment. So I think I'm very, very bullish on buzzer beaters, both for collecting purposes and for like speculating on challenges. I'm going to make a separate video where I review all the challenge speculations and kind of talk about them and give them a score on how likely I think it's going to happen. And buzzer beaters, at least for me, is probably up there near the top. So we'll talk about that later. But so I bought this Damien Lee. I packed this Harrison Barnes buzzer beater, and I think this buzzer beater is super sick. Another football pass, turnaround 3 to win the game. Super double teamed. Great shot. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Not a big Harrison Barnes fan either. I think he's a man who has conned his way into making a ton of money in the NBA. But props to him. You got to get that bag. So I packed Harrison Barnes. I packed this Oladipo and this Blake Griffin. Oladipo, not super hot on. Might turn this one into a ticket, but it's a decent serial, so I don't know. This Blake Griffin, it's his first dunk in the NBA in a while. It's his first dunk as a Brooklyn Net, so I figured this one would be a good one to keep. He'll be in the playoffs. And then I did purchase another Harrison Barnes at $6 when this pack dropped because I thought 6 was a little undervalued. I think it's a really cool moment, and once again, it could be in a future challenge. I kind of am looking to hopefully pick up 1 or 2 more of these Harrison Barnes buzzer beaters, along with maybe doubling up on the Lillard buzzer beater right here. But we'll see. So then some other speculation that we talked about in challenges that made me pick up some more scene stars was players who went to colleges that had cats as their college mascot. And once again, I was willing to dive into the speculation and invest a bit and buy these moments because whether or not the speculation turned out to be true, which it wasn't, I thought that all these moments are undervalued. I think all these scene star moments are great moments and that they have a lot of value in the long term. Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Julius Randle, all incredible players. Like I said, all all-stars. Super, super exciting to watch. And at the time, they were even lower than what I bought. I bought them for even lower than what they're going for now. And even now, I still think they're going for kind of a really good price to get in on. So I bought some more, added to my Scene Stars collection. Worst case scenario, I got more Scene Stars. Best case scenario, they popped up in a challenge because the guys at NBA Top Shot have mentioned Scene Stars a lot, seeming to kind of hint that, hey, like, these might have some challenge utilization in the future. But regardless, I think the Scene Stars set is like a set I would actually be willing to own the entire set long term. I love the set. I think the graphics really cool on the side. Like I said, all the players are quality players. This is the first Scene Stars we've ever seen. It might become a yearly thing, and if that's the case, that'll make this one go up in value quite a bit, et cetera, et cetera. I believe this Anthony Davis I packed in a base set. Solid dunk. Anthony Davis will be in the playoffs, so maybe I'll sell him then, but we'll see. I packed this Acapella, first moment of his. decent cereal for a limited edition. Can't be mad about that. This is the Darren Fox that I mentioned before, where I packed 2 of them in the same pack, and I've got 1 for sale. Darren Fox, great player, but I don't really want 2 of them right now when I could get a little extra dapper balance to kind of be flexible with. This Sabonis I picked up kind of was with some more speculation. There was some speculation on a challenge that there would be players. It would be players whose dads played in the NBA, and once again, the Sabonis was the cheapest Scene Star. I wanted to add to my Scene Stars collection. Hopefully, eventually get the whole set. And he was very cheap, and his dad plays in the NBA. So it was a win-win. Either another Scene Star added to the set, or he becomes part of a challenge. He skyrockets in value. I can sell him and use that dapper to buy multiple Scene Stars to add to my set. So very happy about this purchase, even though he didn't pop up in any of the challenges yet. This Michael Porter Jr., this was a challenge speculation as well. After it was mentioned that Zach LaVine would be the Cool Cats reward, people saw it getting minted and that it was a dunk. There was some speculation that there would be some other players that would be part of the challenge, and so there was some speculation that Jordan Clarkson and Michael Porter Jr. might be the 15Ks in the challenge. And once again, I was willing to pick them up because if they were in the challenge, I could complete the challenge for much cheaper than potentially what it would cost me. But if they weren't, they're both going to be in the playoffs. Michael Porter Jr. has been going absolutely bonkers. I think he's going to continue to do so in the playoffs. I think this moment will have significant value even in the near future. Same with Jordan Clarkson, so not worried about that. Picked up this Diallo. There was some another theory was that Zach LaVine, it would be dunk contest winners, and Diallo is a dunk contest winner. And I figured, you know what? I'm not going to go all in on any of these theories, but Diallo might have some value in the future because he is a dunk contest winner, because that might be a future challenge. So I'm willing to pick him up at the floor and speculate. I also picked up a second Aaron Gordon, kind of under the theory of people who are like known as good dunkers. I picked up this Jaylen Brown Scene Stars to add to my Scene Stars collection. This was going on along with the speculation at the time for the Cool Cats 6. I honestly do not remember the theory in this case of why I picked up Jaylen Brown. But once again, the justification was it's adding to my set. I think it has a lot of value in the future. So if it's part of a challenge, it'll go way up and I can sell it and use it to buy multiple Scene Stars. And if it doesn't go up, or if it's not part of a challenge, then I've just added to my Scene Star set, which very, very excited about. This Mike Conley, I think I picked him up. I don't even remember why. This Trae Young, Cole Anthony, Marc Gasol was a base set pack. He makes a Kobe reference. He throws up the 2-4 after hitting the 3. Super cool moment. No rush in selling that. This Cole Anthony, which I'm super happy I packed. Buzzer beater that we already talked about before. Rookie moment. Super cool moment. This Marc Gasol, much less hot on. This one might get turned into a ticket because it's a high serial. I don't think it has a lot of value, and I would have to double check to make sure, but I don't think he's going to be in the playoffs just because he's going to be injured. But probably going to become a ticket. Picked up this Miles Bridges for speculation on the Zach LaVine Cool Cats. Once again, thinking about dunks, I figured, well, Miles Bridges is going to be in the playoffs. He's been kind of tearing it up lately. His dunks are insane. I'm definitely not going to worry. I don't have to worry about this thing, the floor dropping out the bottom of this if it's not in a challenge. So another solid pickup that I was super excited about. And then these last moments were all picked up after the trade tickets were announced. I picked these up in order to have some floor moments in case I need some additional trade tickets. I figured the floor being at $5 probably won't happen for a long time again. Potentially, could be wrong, but that's my theory. So I figured it was better to pick these up at $5 and just hold on to them than to just wait for more packs. So These first three, Hassan, Devontae Grant, Steven Adams, not super hot on them. I think these will probably become tickets, and that was the goal. But after these three, I started trying to pick up moments that I actually thought were interesting and that could hold some value, or I wouldn't be upset about keeping in my collection. So this George Hill, it's been LE'd because he was traded. So I was like, oh, that's a good pickup. Austin Rivers, under the speculation that there might be a challenge where you have to have moments of players whose dads played in the NBA. Once again, for $5, not a bad pickup. I picked up Anar Diallo under the same like dunk competition theory. Maybe he'll be in that, and if not, it can be a ticket, so it's a win-win. Montrezl Harrell will be in the playoffs. He'll be probably a key player, so I figured that was a good floor to pick him up on. Brandon Ingram, super exciting player, a lot of potential. THT had to scoop 2, so I have 3 of them now. But goes back to what I said before. Super cool moment, great dunk, great pass from LeBron. He's going to be in the playoffs, so I think this was a great moment to have. Not super worried about having to turn it into a ticket or not or whatever. Like picking this up at 5 was a no-brainer. Considering the floor is probably going to be at 7-8 for the foreseeable future. And then finally, I picked up this Gallinari jump shot moment. I was actually watching the Top Shot Takes live stream. Love those guys. Go check them out. And someone pulled this live in a pack, and someone pointed out that it's labeled as a jump shot, even though this is clearly a 3. I think he's behind the 3-point line in this. I figure this might be considered a misprint in the future, which might make it valuable. But worst case scenario, I got a decent serial at the floor, and I can sell it for a small profit. I can turn it into a ticket, or I can hold on to it long term because it might be a misprint. I think those are all solid positions, and I'm not worried about it at all. So yeah, that is my entire Top Shot collection, and that's where I'm at. Let me know if there are any moments that you find interesting right now that you think are undervalued in the comments. Let me know if you have any interesting strategies considering the new news about the trade tickets and the obvious floor rising, because I do think the floor rising pushes everything up a bit. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. My username on Top Shot is actually Jeb Bush. Follow my Twitter at actually Jeb Bush, and leave a comment, leave a like. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon.